So we have our guest today from all the way from USA. We are going to discuss about green card lottery, guys. How to apply a green card, why someone can get denied a green card even after getting winning a green card. You can be denied a visa. He's going to tell us what the reason why someone can be denied a visa even if after winning the green card lottery. So EPM, can you tell us how someone can apply the green card? What are the requirements? There's someone need money such that you can apply the green card. Which site? We know we have some the site which are fake sites which someone can use. So can you tell us the really site someone can use to apply the green card, and also tell us if someone the requirements also which are needed to apply it. If there's money also, now tell us, please. We want to know more about it.
Yes. So there are a few things people should know about the green card lottery.
Yeah.
If I started from the beginning, for those who do not know, we usually say green card. Green card is, some people do not know what is that. Green card is permanent residence. And the green card is a nickname for permanent residence in America. Other countries, they call just green card. In the US, they have the nickname called green card because the card itself is green. So that's why they call it green card. So there are different ways to get a green card. One among those ways is through lottery system, which we are going to talk about here. Talking about the lottery, no other country on the planet Earth has a lottery system, randomly selection, like the United States.
Wow.
This makes a bigger difference in immigration between the US and Canada, US and Australia. The biggest part of immigration in the United States is based on family-based and lottery. And the small part, employment. In Canada, the biggest part is a merit, is a professional based. It's not a family. Yes, family is there, but it's not the bigger part of people to be migrating there. So on the lottery portion of getting green card, there are things people should understand. Is your country eligible to apply? That's number one. If you are in Africa, at the moment, only Nigeria is not eligible country for Africa. And why one country is not eligible, like for Africa, Nigeria, or India, Pakistan, talking about China, talking about Canada, UK, whatever, why is not eligible? Is a simple reason. The purpose of the green card lottery is to open up opportunity for more diversity from the countries with low representation here in America. By representation, we don't mean we don't count international students. We don't count tourists. We are going to count immigrant. But the problem is, we usually say, oh, I'm immigrant. But if you're an international student, you're not immigrant. By law, immigrant is a person who is a permanent resident.
Yeah.
That's why we have immigrant visa and non-immigrant visa. Immigrant visa is someone to come to immigrate to stay here on a permanent basis. If you go for any other visa, non-immigrant is a temporary. Whether you're going to study PhD for 4 years, you are still temporary. But if you win a green card lottery, from day one, you are immigrant. So for the countries which have immigrant, meaning they have people being awarded green card, whether by lottery, whether by marriage, whether by family, like the father is sponsoring for the son or sponsoring for your child, or by work, if you include all green card, whatever ways, if a country has more than 50,000 people given a green card in the past 5 years, that country is eliminated, is removed from the participation of the green card lottery. But it doesn't mean that is forever. The country can be returned back to the lottery system if the number is going down. That's why I made a video that many countries will be returned this year, starting from Nigeria, because last year, because of the pandemic and the immigration suspension, no green card were issued from last year to March this year. So for that particular case, if you go to count 5 years, obviously there will be a gap of not 50,000 people for many countries. So that's why. So if people are in East Africa, they don't need to worry. But again, you are eligible to participate. We are talking about the countries. Is not about the citizenship. You can be a Kenyan, but was born in Nigeria. That means you are not allowed to apply. So the eligibility is the place of birth. So if you are born in Kenya, but you are a citizen of Canada, you are allowed to apply. Even though Canada is not allowed to apply, you are Canadian, but not by birth. Your birth eligibility is Kenya. If you are a refugee, right now we are talking to you, let's say you were born in Congo, but you are originally from Rwanda, or you are born in Kigoma, Tanzania, but you are originally from Burundi as a refugee. When you apply, you don't apply as a Burundian. Yes, your citizenship is Burundian, but the country of chargeability or eligibility is Tanzania, the place of birth. That people should understand that one. Then, there are some people, I want to clarify this more. There are some people, let's say they are born in a country, let's say you're born in Nigeria. Country is not eligible at the moment. But the Nigerian who is born in Nigeria is married to a Kenyan. That person is allowed to apply based on the eligibility of the spouse. So there are almost some exceptions on the eligibility in terms of place of birth. So that's number one. Two, it comes to the issue about work experience and education. During the application for the DV lottery, there is no a component of work experience. There is only education. Usually, this is the law. Whether it is bad thing, whatever. The day you apply, you must have high school education. The day you apply, not a high school student, you have already possessing high school education. Or if you don't have high school education, you must have 2 years of qualifying work experience. Listen, the keyword qualifying, not just work experience, 2 years of qualifying work experience. So let us start with the education, high school. There are countries, the U.S. embassy in those countries clearly says, yes, you have high school, but you want to have a minimum C on mathematics and English. One of the example is Zimbabwe. I'm saying that way because I know someone from Zimbabwe had the same situation where was supposed to go there, and the instruction, the letter was indicating you must have a certain score. So when you apply for the DV lottery, you have to indicate primary school, and then there is high school. But high school is divided. You can go to the high school, don't take the exam, don't graduate. So there is what you call high school with a diploma, high school without a diploma. What does that mean? The problem we get confused is Africans because the diploma is education level in Africa. But in America, is American English, diploma is not a level for study. Diploma is the certificate that you have been awarded. You finish primary school, the certificate they give you. You finish Form 4, the certificate they give you. You finish diploma, they finish university. That means you have been awarded degree in political science. You have been awarded finish primary school at maybe whatever whatever you finish. That is diploma. Diploma is certificate in American English. So when they say high school with a diploma, means you complete the high school and you have the certificate to prove that you finished the high school. High school with no diploma means you don't have the diploma, you don't have the certificate. Remember, that form has been designed in American context, not in African or Asian context. Because someone can go to the university, for instance, and don't graduate like Bill Gates and just continue with other life. But in Africa, we consider you are a failure. There is no any other level. What is your level of education? Oh, I just high school. Oh, I'm dropout. No, you have a certain level of education. So if you are still the university student at the moment, they say some college courses. If you are you finish bachelor, is bachelor. If you finish, you are studying masters, is masters, you say graduate courses. So there are classification, a lot of confusion over there. But you have to know what is your exact work experience. But even if you don't put the correct one, there is no problem. Why? Because the decision to select a person doesn't base on the education during the selection of random selection. That one will be able to put a correct one when you are filling the DS-260. By DS-260 is a immigrant visa form, the visa form for people who are coming to live permanently in America. Those who don't come to live permanently, like a student, visitor, any other type of visa, we call DS-160, 160. Those are non-immigrant. Immigrant is 260. So, education. So you have to indicate there is no proof of certificate, there is no anything during the application time. Then there is, even if you don't have high school, your primary school, there is no place to say I have 5 years of work experience. But if you win, you have to put work experience. Why am I insisting these items? Because you might be denied the visa despite of winning for failure to submit or to prove that you have good education or the work experience, qualifying work experience. By when we say qualifying work experience, they want to see you are a mechanic. There is no problem to be a mechanic. What training did you go? Did you go to the special vocational training for 1 year, 2 years? Oh, I'm working in the salon hairdressing. Did you go to school? Remember, in America, I'm saying like everything they're doing is in America. You are not allowed to cut anybody's hair if you have never gone to a special cosmetology, whatever school, and you get the state license to cut someone's hair. So for you, you are just at the barber shop just because the guy has, no. They will ask the question on the DS-260. What training? How long was the training? So the training is into 2 ways. Is it on-job training or you went to a special vocational training before starting the job? And most of these jobs, they want at least 2 years of training. So what does that mean? There is a proper way people have to know how to put them when you are going to fill the DS-260. If you win, what is the proper way? It's not just, oh, I've won. That's what I tell people. Don't just win today and tomorrow I'm going to submit the DS-260. Even if you have high school, is a qualified work education level, still you are at the margin. What if that embassy, they require special score? I have F in mathematics. So will I get or not? So for that particular case, that's why I tell people, find a way to volunteer. Work experience doesn't mean that. The problem of us as Africans, what is your work experience? We see how much money have you made. No. Work experience, is it for free, paid, whatever it is? Did you work somewhere? What is the name of the job? What is the job description? What is the name of your supervisor? Can we call your supervisor? Do you have a proof of the contract? Do you have the proof of the letter of employment? Or, I mean, the recommendation letter from your supervisor or your employer? Even if it's for free. The problem now, people finishing high school, even a bachelor degree, their job is to do betting. That is not work experience, betting. Go volunteer. Do something to your community, get hours. That means it helps you to get guarantee of getting visa. So that is just to make sure that you have those qualifications to apply. There are 3 parts, which are very important in that application. Apart from education and the eligibility, that one of the nationality or place of birth. There is the issue of passport. Very, very important. They have introduced passport. Ask yourself why they have introduced the passport. Because people started doing some scams. You go on the DV lottery form, I write Ernest Boniface Makulilo is applicant number 1. And I'm going to do another application, Boniface Ernest Makulilo. That is the second person. I go put Makulilo Ernest Boniface. Like you put like 3 people. Because there was no passport. And then if one of these wins, someone is going to forge the documentation. Because in Africa, you can get those kind of things. So because of that kind of things, or sometimes someone can go online and see, oh, care for your name. I can just take your name and apply for you. If you win, there are 2 ways. I can come to you and say, pay me, I applied for you, you have won. Or someone can use your identity and go to America because of that. And the day you're going to apply for the visa, oh, you're already in America because all your information someone has used. So because of that, they've introduced the passport, because even if you know my name, you know my date of birth, you know my place of birth, you don't have my passport number. So that's the reason to protect that. So some people, there is one Ethiopian I know, one Kenyan, one Tanzanian, one from Sierra Leone I know, like for last year, 4 to 5 people, they have won the DV lottery, and when they applied, they didn't put the passport. I'm going to tell you the repercussion of applying doing that way. The instruction number 7 of the DV lottery, which is the new instruction, like this is the second, third year. That means when you apply for the DV lottery, you must have the passport. If you don't have the passport, there is a waiver. You must have one of the 3 reasons. 1, you are coming from a communist-controlled country, and you are unable to get the passport. Last time I checked, there is no any country in Africa which is a communist-controlled country. They don't care whether your country has the highest level of COVID. They don't care your country has the highest level of war. They don't care. The point is, your country must be a communist-controlled country, which there is no country in Africa of that nature. In Asia, you can say, maybe I'm from China, but China is not eligible to apply. So, for that particular reason, you don't meet that requirement. Requirement number 2, you must be either stateless. Who is a stateless person? There are very few people in this world who are stateless. You are born in nowhere. I can give you an example, because how is this possible? There is one guy from Angola. They were during the war, they were just moving away in the boat. In the middle of the international water, the child was born. There is no country there. So the person was stateless until he was 18 to take, because they went to French. So they were in France for all those years. The child was not having citizenship of any country, because it was not born in any country on this planet Earth. So if you are saying you are stateless, prove to them you are stateless. Or there are certain countries you can be born and you are not allowed to be given citizenship of that particular country. And then there are certain situations, like there are very group of people, like in Myanmar or whatever, some of Palestine. So there are certain very few people in this world. Because if you are saying you are stateless, prove to the consular officer you are stateless. Obviously, you are not. You are born in Kenya. You are born in Meru. You are born in Dar es Salaam. You are born in Kampala. You are born in Ansarabe or Antananarivo in Madagascar. You have a place of birth. So you are not stateless. The other reason, you must have a waiver letter, a letter from the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Homeland Security of the United States of America, that they have given you the letter that, oh, go ahead and apply the DV lottery without having passport. So remember, the Secretary of State is the biggest person in the American government. President, if president dies, vice president dies, Speaker of the House. After the Speaker of the House, Secretary of State is there. How can you convince the Secretary of State to write you a letter to give you the waiver that I don't have $50 to apply for the passport in my country? No. So because of those 3 reasons, if you don't have passport, this is what I tell people: apply for the temporary passport. Temporary passport in Kenya, how much is it? It's less than $10. How many days do you get? Is you get within the same day, very late next day. If you go early in the morning, they give you the same day. If you go in the afternoon, they give you the next day. In Tanzania, it's $15. They give you the next day. 2 to 3 days, they'll give you that one. And there is not much conditions, because that one allows you to travel within East Africa. If you're in West Africa, they have their own version of the temporary passport, because that one you can expire after 6 months or 1 year, because they know that it's not like 5 years or 2 years passport as we get used to. It is the same passport like the passport book. The difference is this one expires within 6 months or 3 months. This one expires after 10 years and is a passport book. This one, the paper, you can travel within your region just in East Africa, because you don't need a visa, because you cannot put a visa to go to the U.S. embassy. I want a visa on that small piece of paper. So that is something. So if you don't have the passport and you don't have the temporary passport, please don't apply. Because you'll win, you'll pay for the medical, you'll pay for the visa fee, and they'll deny you the visa. I guarantee you. It will be like, oh, it's unfair. Don't hurt the player. They play by the rule. Even if I'm the consular officer, I'm denying you the visa. Because if you have applied without the passport, you are likely to become a fraud person, to become a scam. What if you have applied another application with another name and you say you don't have the passport? How can I know? No matter what, U.S. government is protecting every single way for the security of America. There is a difference between U.S. and Europe. In Europe, a police officer is allowed to stop you at any point and ask you, show me your papers, your immigration status. In the United States, you are not allowed to stop me. What criteria have you used to stop me? I'm black, or I look like a Mexican, I look like Arab, do I look, because you can be white and you can be from Poland or from another country. So that's why, to avoid that one, is a constitution that you are not allowed to stop anybody. Arizona one time wanted to put past that law. It was unconstitutional to stop anybody, unless otherwise it's a checkpoint, like in the border. Everybody will be stopped and be asked that question. Not just like, okay, you see someone, okay, this person is just having a hoodie, is wearing. No, that is not happening. So for that particular case, you can come here and disappear in the forest or off the grid. No one can be able to do anything with you. They cannot catch you. So for that particular case, the first line of defense of America is the embassy. So they'll do everything to be possible that even if you disappear, we want to be a normal person, not to take a chance of bringing someone who is not possible, a good person to be able to apply and cause trouble in America. So that is very important. That's why I'm explaining about more about that one. When it comes, is just the aspect of the passport.
Requirement.
Then the last two, which are critical, is number of children and marriage. Marriage, you can have excuses in one way or another. I'll tell you why. Let's go to the children. When we say children, we don't mean the neighbor's children. We don't mean your brother's children. We don't mean your sister's children. You don't mean whatever. Family is Baba, which is a father, Mama, which is a mother, and children. Full stop. Don't bring other extended family like in African context. Oh, my mother's dependent. No, dependents are yourself, your spouse, and children. So by children, we mean your biological children. If you are legally married to someone, legally married, the children, if you married to someone who has children, those are your stepchildren. You are allowed to add your stepchildren and adopted children. Adopted children, not because you paid for school fees, not because you gave them chapat or you gave them pilau or jollof or rice, whatever. No, it's because you went to the court of law and have a full custody that these, from now on, have adopted this person legally by the court of law. Out of that, that is not your child. So the question is, number of children. If you put 0, while you have a child, if you win the DV lottery, you go to add those children, you will be denied the visa right away. So for that particular case, make sure that if you're in Dubai, you're in Qatar, you're in Uganda, you're in another country, you're in another city, make sure that you get the photos of your children right now, ready to go. Don't wait to the last minute and the person in the cyber cafe says, oh, don't worry, you'll add them later. No, that person doesn't know the regulations. They want just your money to apply. If you win the DV lottery and you didn't put that child, you'll be denied the visa if you come to bring them. Maybe we decide to deny, I don't have the child for the rest of your life, you come alone. But if you add them, game over. You are going to be denied the visa. And the last part is, but the question is, what if the child is born after applying? There is no problem. You'll be able to add. If you are applying today, the child is born tomorrow. I mean, it's going to be born tomorrow. There is no problem. But the day you are applying, if you have a child that day, doesn't matter whether the child is 1 day old, you must have a photo of that child. But you cannot have the photo of a pregnant woman that is the child. No, the child has to be born. So there is no problem. You can add the child later. And the last part is the marriage or marital status. There is no girlfriend status. There is no fiancé status. Fiancé. There is no all this kind of status. No matter how many years you have lived with someone, if you are a spouse, are you married? Yes, I know there's some people that are married in customary marriage or traditional marriage, whatever it is. If you marry on the traditional marriage, it's okay. You can say you are married, but you cannot be given the visa until you have the marriage certificate from the government. So you have to go to register your marriage. You want to go to register, they'll give you the certificate of today, but to reflect that you have been living with this person you have been married with this person for a longer time. So there's no difference about the date of the certificate. It's just like when I go today to get my new birth certificate. Yes, you will be given the birth certificate today, but showing I was born in September 1991. So that's something you need to know. But there are some people that are going to put to their friends. There is this notion, if you are married, you'll be having more chance. No. The more chance of being a winner is if the husband has a passport, is applying as a main applicant, adds the wife. And the wife has the passport, is allowed to add the spouse, the husband. If one applies, if you are married, it doesn't help you anything, is your one application, unless otherwise both are applying also as main applicant. And in addition to that, failure, if you add your girlfriend or any person who's not your wife or your husband, they catch you, will be denied the visa. So that is something very, very critical, important. But what if you get married after the results are out or after applying? There is no problem. You are okay. You are going to add that particular person. So those are the key issues. But one thing I can add is this way. Let's say you are allowed to add a child who is under the age of 21 and married. Under 21 and unmarried. If you're above 21 and above, you cannot, because if you add the date of birth, it will say this person is above the age of 21 and above. So if you force, that means you'll be lying. That means you'll be caught that you have cheated by changing the year. So you can apply if, let's say, your husband, you are the father, you apply, you say you have a child who is 19. But if that child also has a passport, that child has the opportunity to also apply as independent. Does that make sense? So if you are under the age of 21, convince your parents to apply, they ID you and they apply you, so you have more chances. But what if you are a stepchild in this family? This family will claim you and your biological parent will claim you too. So you have more chances of winning. So those are the different ways how to increase the chances. Those are legal ways. It's not something crazy. But overall, this is a free application through the official government website. There is no any agents, any company is partnered with the government to help you in any other way. There is no way that there is any person who will be able to speed up your application, because we get used to the cutting the corner and giving someone a chai, giving someone some corruption. That doesn't work here. So don't pay to any organization or company. They say they'll apply for you. Just make sure that you apply for free. If you win, that's a different story. But application is free through a government website. And to know this is the U.S. government website, at the end it will have .gov.government.gov at the end. Any website without .gov at the end, that is not U.S. government website. And because the U.S. federal government, but the Department of State, which is the Foreign Affairs, Department of State is the one is in charge of the lottery system. That means the website will have the word .state. So that's why the website is www.dvprogram.state.gov. DV program, DV stands for the diversity visa, which is a program. So DV program.state, state means the Department of State, .gov means the US government. And nobody has ever produced another website with exact domain name of .gov like the United States of America. So apply for free. If you don't win, it's okay. You can apply next year. But reduce any ways of not winning. Like the background of the photo must be white. You are using red or blue. Why? Don't wear glasses, you wear glasses. Don't wear uniform, you are a security guard wearing the uniform. You feel that is cool. No, it's not cool. You have to take the photo in advance, make sure that you know everything, how to go about it. And it's very, very easy. So avoid anything will cause you to have the automatic rejection. If you apply, you make any mistake, but you complete the application, don't try to correct it. There is no way to correct it. Some people, they're going to do another application. No, duplicate application is automatically punching your head out. You are not even going to be considered for the selection because you have done duplicate application. So those are the key issues you need to know. Each person has one application. Each person has the equal opportunity of winning.
Wow, thank you, Mr. EPM. You have totally analyzed all the questions I had. Okay, let me welcome these people. This Africa, hello, thank you for joining in. Tenik, say thank you also for joining in. Sister to sister, thank you. I see you. Mama Pen, thank you for joining in. Lol with Lisa, I saw you. And also Finanza Swift, Jean Cloud. Also, thank you for joining in, guys. Please, if you are joining right now, smash the like button and share this live stream. And also, EPM himself is a YouTuber, guys. You can go to his channel and support him by subscribing to his channel. If you need to see more about the videos, green card lottery, guys, please go there and support him. Now,